Hello and welcome to the Tarkis Zone. Good morning. It is November 22nd, 2016, and I am going to be talking about the game Revelation. Now, this is I believe it's a Korean game, and actually, this is the first time I've been to their site. I don't know anything about this game, so this is a unique experience for me. I've been told by my friends that had gone over to Terra that they just been waiting for this game to come out and asked me, "Oh, go check it out, see what you think." Now, I know nothing. I'm assuming it used to be a Korean game, and then I'm making it for the West, and because it looks crazy Korean to me. I mean, the graphics look awesome. This is their web page. Now, if you go up to the top here, it will say my.com. I imagine if you look at the actual URL at the top, it's ro.my.com/en. But I imagine if you Google it, in a Google web search and put Revelation in, I'm going to imagine this is going to come up. So I thought there would be a unique experience for you guys to see my reaction to this. So let's watch the feature trailer. I mean, I imagine that's going to give us some interesting facts here about the game.
Everyone dreams of being part of a legend. Enter a mythical world of vast lands and towering mountains, of rich cities and ancient temples, of magnificent beasts and strange creatures, of giant monsters soaring through the skies, of mighty champions harnessing the power of flight. But there are no legends without heroes, and no mythical worlds without darkness and strife. Together with your allies, expel the ancient evils that threaten this world back into oblivion. Fight devious and cunning monsters. Take down deadly abominations of immense size. Challenge other champions to duels of honor. Engage your foes in thrilling aerial combat. Take part in epic battles and savor the taste of victory. Make your legend.
Okay. All right. Wow. I will say that looks like it's going to be a pretty intense game if that actually was some game footage there. Early on as the video started, I kind of like the texturing and I kind of don't, and I'm on the fence with that, where I like to see a lot more detail. But when you got it further into the video, I mean, if that's actual gameplay, then they have to get rid of some of the detail, or you would have to require a phenomenal graphics card to play it. I mean, if you had fine detail and you have all that craziness going on around you and those epic graphics with that sword coming down, I mean, yeah, I think everybody's computers would blow up. So I'm assuming they went with the lower texture, meaning it's not as fine detail, and that's cool because a lot of animes are like that. And obviously this has got to be, it's got to be a Korean game or somewhere of that nature, because of just the graphics. I mean, I don't think it's going to require a little girl, like right here, a little girl and a little. What, a tutu? Okay, all right, that kind of just sums it up right there. So let's go through here. Let's look at this about the game, and let's see. What I do not like having to do is pay a subscription. I like the models where you buy the game out of the box. Because back in the day, think about it, before multiplayer internet effects. You used to buy a game for $100 or whatever you paid in the 80s, 90s, and you could play that game amazingly and game makers were making money, and the player base was paying for the new release of the newer games, and that model always worked. So now I scratch my head thinking, obviously there's server costs and their power cost to continuously an open world. I'll have to, but they should be able to put that in the packaged game, saying I'm going to sell you a game for $125, and that should cover our maintenance costs for like 3-year plan, let's say. And that should be it. You should, like Guild Wars. That was kind of like it was, and they were able to make that model work. And I don't see why most games now require subscription of some sort. And yeah, you cannot make an argument that you'll get a better game moving forward. Well, the reality here is if this has been out in Korea, and I'm going to imagine it's already been platformed out there, I'm going to assume that money's already been invested in all those updates. So moving it to the West, so what we're saying is for me to pay a subscription, I'm just kind of just throwing money in these guys' pockets because they've already developed it, because they're 3 years ahead already in the platform that they've already released in Korea or that region of the world. So I'm kind of, so that's my thoughts on subscription base and just pay the box and play the game. So let's look at, I imagine we're going to have to go to frequent, because I was hoping that it would be here, because, about the games, obviously there's Dungeons and Raids, bonus, player versus player, bonus. We'll look at the classes and spells in a second, and the character customization. We'll do that in a second. I just want to be able, because subscription-based games, I just don't like playing them, and you won't get me to change my mind on that. I kind of got burnt out with World of Warcraft, paying that subscription, and then when I went to Elder Scrolls Online, it just was not enough game content to pay a subscription. It just wasn't. So we're looking at it with Revelation Online. You can read this. You can go to the website and read this. It looks like it's a standard game environment for these type of games. What is the storyline of the game? I won't really get into there. Developing, what are the closed beta? Okay, what is the business model? So this is, details of business. We're not ready to reveal our business model. Wow. Okay, well, that kind of tells you a little bit. What kind of consoles? Publish the content Chinese version. So yeah, it's a Chinese, obviously. Well, that's what they're saying here. I guess that's a question to them. And it looks like okay, it looks like they didn't really answer the question, but they're just having an English version of it. So again, will there be a localized German and French? Will there be play an assassin class? I'm assuming that's a class that came later on. Now, they're not really saying if this is subscription or not. And they're not coming, and they're not like advertising, because that's usually what, they're kind of coding it with this question, is what is the business model online? So I imagine they're open to how many people are buying this game from them. I imagine that, as a smart business, they're probably thinking, well, if 10 people, I'm just using low numbers here, so if 10 people bought this game, that's not a good business model. So at that point, we're going to have to subscribe a subscription to this game for those 10 people because we can't pay our bills. So, but if that 10 becomes 100,000, then they might actually think, well, that's enough money for us to get right off the bat, and we might not go with a subscription, or cash shop. You don't know, but they're not spelling it out here. And usually, when you go to a game website, that's one. It's always in the frequency. Is this a subscription base? You don't even see that as a question. So I'm going into here to the news and seeing if that jumps out. Guild systems, and again, I'm just going over this real quick, and there's obviously a beta going on now, and I will be subscribing to that beta today and seeing how that game plays. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to really trash this game if the beta experience is nasty, because I will tell you, I have beta tested games all the way back into the early early 1990s. And I will tell you, beta testing is okay to understand the keyboard, commands and how you can understand the world before Joe Schmo gets on the server, so you can actually help newer players. That's the only point of beta testing, and to be able to tell the designers, well, look, you got something screwed up here. Hopefully you can fix it. Thank you for letting me get this knowledge beforehand, and I'm giving you some information to help you out. But normally in this situation, the reality is this game's already been playing for X amount of years in Chinese or Korea or wherever we determined it was. So really the beta testing is just to test their server capacities. So I'm going to get on. I will fill out the forms. If I find any problems, I will let them know. I'm pretty good at that. But it's really for me to understand the mechanics of the game. So once I understand the mechanics, it kind of gives me a leg up to help others out on day one when the servers actually open to the public base. And I don't know if they'll have early access for this game where you pay extra more to get on 4 days early. I don't know. And there's some questions obviously I've posed in this video, and if you're more confused about this whole video, then I'm sorry. Let's look at some of the other videos. And I know this is a longer video. I figured might as well show you as much as I can, because again, this is first experience for me. I'm seeing this all for the first time. First closed beta trailer. Well, let's look at that and look at these classes. And I was, like I said, we were going to go actually into the classes. I'm going to assume the class is a cookie cutter, or a lot like Black Desert was, and other games of this type of genre, where you want to be the gunslinger. You're one gender class. You're locked in. And there's only different skins that make you look different. Unlike other games where you could go in and fine-tune exactly the entire... Like in Black Desert, I don't like the fact that if you're a Valkyrie, you're the skinny, person, that you can't even see, and regardless of the costume you wear, it doesn't even matter. But if I could make my character look like the Berserker, then it would be worth buying costumes for him, right? I mean, that's my thoughts, is why can't they be a huge woman, But no, they make them all sleek and sexy, and it's like, oh boy, I just don't like being locked into that type of graphics. So getting back to this game. So let's look at this first closed beta video. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with the actual action in this game, because it reminds me of an anime, watching an anime, and I do enjoy watching anime. So this is actually pretty cool videos that they got here. This is the Gunslinger.
The Gunslinger is the top-range physical damage dealer in Revelation Online. They have useful buffs, control abilities, and are highly adaptable in combat. In encounters that require mobility, the Gunslinger uses a pair of pistols. They can keep their enemies at a distance by enclosing them in a steel cage, or detonating a mobilizing grenade. The Gunslinger can also perform a backwards somersault while throwing helix blades at their adversaries. When mobility isn't needed, the Gunslinger uses a sniper rifle which modifies their attacks and increases damage. Rocket Barrage wreaks hell on multiple foes. Deadeye Shot has greater criticals. Besides dealing a lot of damage, the Gunslinger also buffs their allies. They can direct focus fire, raising their critical chance. Death Mark increases their damage against a single target. The Gunslinger is the first to strike a powerful enemy with Marksman's reprisal skill, taking a slice off their health bar. The Gunslinger uses cutting-edge technologies. They can place proximity mines and spider turrets on a field of battle. or deploy a razor puppet, a fearsome attack robot. The Gunslinger can encase themselves in juggernaut armor, brandishing an energy cannon. The Gunslinger does not just dispose of his enemies, he does it in the most inventive ways possible.
Okay, the only thing that Gunslinger didn't have was a kitchen sink. My God, I mean, come on. I mean, that looks like an amazing character class. It almost reminds me of like a jack of all trades. You know, it just going around, just doing all sorts of craziness throughout 3 class groups. And I don't know if this game specifies classes, but like if we were playing WoW, Rift, or any other game, that would be a ranged class DPS person. But I mean, if you're walking around and gauntlets at the end of that video and just bulking around like that, I mean, you become a tank, really, right? So I'm just going to look to see, okay, Vanguard, because I like tanky class, and I want to look at the Vanguard real quick. Actually, this is a video on all the classes. Let's look at that first, because we might just get it all here summed up. Okay, so that sums it up right there. I mean, I guess we should have just jumped to that little video, because that gives you basically what I was thinking. It's got the triangle, the tank, the healer, the DPS. I love that triangle. I like games that actually require that triangle to work in conjunction with each other. And if you don't, I've never heard the term triangle. It goes back to World of Warcraft, where if you take on a dungeon, there was 3 crucial classes you needed. You needed somebody to absorb the damage, the tank. You needed somebody to heal the tank, the healer, and you needed somebody to do mass DPS, which we would call the glass cannon, or the DPS class. And so those had to work together for you to succeed, and that it looks like this game kind of focuses on that, which is great, because when we were on the main page, they were talking, we saw dungeons, and I think we saw about the game. So I really don't want to bore you today, but I'm going to be signing up for beta for this game, and I will say first impressions. Now I got a scaling rating of 1 to 10. First impressions, this is hitting me around a 7, and it would, I think it would have gone to 8.5 if I knew exactly what their business model was. If they're coming, out of this game saying, I'm selling you the box set, here it is for X amount of money, enjoy your game, we're going to sell costumes in the auction house or whatever, so that we can make money that way. That would, to me, would bump this game to an 8.5, okay? And if they come back saying subscription base, it's going to bump it probably down to a 4, because I don't play subscription-based games. I just don't do it. For those people that enjoy that kind of model, great. To you, then it's probably in the 8 still. And I'm just basing this on graphics, what I've seen, what I like about what I've seen. And I mean, it is amazing. I mean, some of this stuff is amazing. Now, if it gets on and your frame rates are crazy and you're jumping around and you're so laggy that the guy next to you is you're still standing there and you've already moved 5 steps, then obviously my play rating will be different. Now, this is just first impression rating. So take it for what it is. Thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkis Zone. Hello, yeah, I was just about to, I did end that video, and then I signed up for the beta testing, and so I'm actually splicing this into the video that I just made. And when I went into the beta testing environment, they signed me up. Then I got this information. So you can actually buy the, whatever pack you want. But I wanted to show you this to actually talk about that subscription. This premium account for 90 days, it looks like you'll be able to get a buff similar to Black Desert, where if you pay them X amount of dollars per month, then you'll be able to get these advantages that you can read here for yourself. It looks like for now there's 3 advantages that you'll get, and I don't know how that's going to, balance in the game, if you can get around without having this premium account and still make a good run at it. But I imagine if I'm going to be a tank class, Stanimals might be important to me. I'm not really sure. But it might actually have the ability, just like Black Desert, where you can buy the subscription through the in-game auction house. Well, in Black Desert, unfortunately, they get gobbled up, and their new bidding system has made it almost impossible to get it. I've tried to bid on 20 value packs just last night on Black Desert Online and didn't get one of them. So that mechanic's a little broken. But it would be nice, it's like Arcade, where you could buy that buff within the marketplace. I don't know. I will definitely going to play the game. I'm probably going to get the deluxe pack because that's normally what I will do. I'm going to hopefully do that today. This way I can get into the beta testing and show you a little bit more about this game as I play it. I mean, this might be my new game because, again, if you've watched any of my Black Desert videos, I can run that game in the background, still do everything I want in that game, and probably run this game in spades without any frames per second problems. And, I was playing World of Warships last night while I was watching a Christmas special on Netflix, and I was multitasking in Black Desert in another window. So that tells you that I can run this game. And so I keep subscribing to my channel, and more updates to come. Thank you for watching. This has been the Tarkis Zone.